Hey, what's going on, everybody? So tonight I'm going to be talking to you guys through where I am at and my Fundrise investment. It's only $1,000 investment, so it's not too much in my portfolio. For those of you who followed me or got to this page or this specific video, this is off a keyword. I manage about a $250,000 portfolio for myself, and I'll put a link to that in the upper right-hand corner. Make sure you kind of view that before you assume that some of my comments or something are very negative about Fundrise and whatnot. So diving into Fundrise, for those of you who this is your first video with me in Fundrise, I've invested in it for since June 2017, so almost a year and a half at this point, and I've earned $119.60. It's not great, not grand, so in terms of where I'm at in a year and a half, I've made almost 12% returns, which I've discussed in the past isn't the best, but it's also not horrible as well. And here's the breakdown associated with that in terms of the earnings. So 8.8% of that has come from dividends, and the other $30 or 3% of that has come from appreciation. Very minor portion of that has gone to advisory fees, which is really nice. I signed up just to kind of have an idea as to what it would take to get to $100,000 in the course of 10 or so years, or maybe it was 20 years or so. And basically what it was saying is at a certain rate of return, if you invest $300 odd a month, I think it was like $303 a month or so, you'll be able to get $100,000 in this portfolio. Of course, it doesn't have inflation and stuff like that in there, but I haven't done it for the past three months, which is why it's upset and saying I need to catch up by investing $910. But it is kind of interesting to see where they assume my trajectory would be if I were to just continue on with where I'm at. So $90,000 at the moment if I were to keep investing the $303 and not invest the additional $900 and some dollars or so. So I'd be almost off by a factor of 10, which is interesting. One thing that I do admire about Fundrise is the user interface is very, very beautiful and easy to interact with and easy to get around. Another thing that I've noticed with Fundrise over the past few months or so is they've become more realistic in terms of their project returns. This area used to be a lot more, I guess, centered in the 15 to 18% range, if I remember appropriately. Now it's kind of come down by 2 to 4%, which is more in line with the returns that I was getting. I personally have been getting, well, we can take a look at it actually, which is actually kind of cool if we actually look at the portfolio. Oh, wrong one. So if we go to performance here, it kind of breaks it down by each year, which is kind of interesting and very cool to see. So, like I said, it started in 2017, so I was only able to get about half the year's worth of returns associated with that. So in 2017, I made about 3.6%, 7.5% last year, which I told some folks I wasn't too enthused about. But I guess in terms of the broader market, it made a lot more money than the broader market, which I guess is something to keep in your back pocket if that's what you're looking at it for. And then 2019 obviously just started, so all-time 7.1%, which isn't horrible, and it's nothing to scoff at. But in terms of some people say they get 9 to 10% returns in the S&P 500 over the course of however many years. So keep that in mind. 7.1 is nothing to scoff at, especially if you're holding this for the long term. If it consistently delivers 7%, there's nothing wrong with that. But that's just something to keep in your back pocket. In terms of dividends and everything that I've gotten, so that's a good starting point there. So every quarter I get a dividend, and basically I just reinvest it because I don't need the money right now, and curious how reinvesting it into additional shares would help compound and whatnot. To be honest, I wish this was a little bit bigger of a portfolio, and that's the only person I can blame is myself on that. But I personally like the ability to liquidate positions and whatnot a lot faster than Fundrise will let you do it. I've explained that in some of my other Fundrise videos, but I won't explain that now because that's kind of a time sink. But over the past 3 or 4 quarters, getting around a $12 to $13 dividend, which isn't horrible, it's not great. Just under 1% every quarter, which, you know, if you were to get a 4% dividend yield from your portfolio, it's not anything, you know, too much to scoff at. But the problem that I have is, generally in the beginning, I was getting $15 dividends, so not exactly too sure what happened if one of my funds split into different sort of funds, or if they sold one of the investments that was making something to purchase something else. Not exactly too sure what exactly happened to cause that to drop, but that's something I'm very curious about. Another cool thing that I like about Fundrise, if you are to join, and you are adamant about joining, say, real estate, is that they send me a lot of emails about new acquisitions that they've, you know, gotten out of and sold appropriately, and I think that's really awesome. You know, they tell you what kind of structural, or what kind of, basically what they're investing in. Are they investing in debt? Are they investing in equity? Are they investing in, you know, just providing a loan for these folks? In that respect, I think this is really cool. They're very transparent about what they invest in, what kind of risks they have, what kind of projected annual returns. What I didn't used to like is that the projected annual returns, a lot of these things used to be a lot higher, in the 13 to 14% range. What I've noticed is that they've come down a decent bit, especially now that they're focusing on the Los Angeles area, very heavily in the Los Angeles area. But in this particular case, I'm also seeing a lot of Florida, Texas as well. But a lot of times when I was looking, I do have some West Coast real estate investment trusts within my portfolio, within Fundrise. And it was heavily concentrated on Los Angeles. And I'd seen some other folks like Graham Stephan and stuff like that talk about Fundrise investing within their neighborhoods, which was reassuring, knowing that you're not just investing in a company and they're just, I guess, pyramid scheming you and whatnot. They're actually investing into actual assets, which is appropriate, and something that at least makes me feel a little bit better. But that's really it. I mean, I didn't want to talk about it too long. What I might do is I might throw, you know, a couple $100 or so in here a month, with my new raise that I'm getting, you know, in a month or so. You know, it might be interesting to see how this trajectory and investment goal changes. I'm not promising anything. Getting my money out of Fundrise is something that I'm quite upset about, but that's a different story for a different day. But at the same time, it is another place where I can park my money, and that's something that's important. And a 4% yield isn't too horrible. And if I wanted to, I could switch it more from a balanced investing to more of a value income investing sort of portfolio, and up that dividend yield to closer to 6%. So only person that's holding me back from that is myself. So I can't complain Fundrise too much. They generally are very adaptive and very transparent about changing their things. Every time I've been upset about something, they've changed it within a month or so. So they're either following me or listening to other users that are giving them feedback and changing it. So I definitely think this is a great place to invest for some folks, and I would recommend it for sure. It's just not something for me because I like the liquidity of things, and it takes a little bit to get your money out. So appreciate you guys stopping by. Always like, subscribe to the channel, and give me any feedback on any other additional videos you want on the channel, whether it's Fundrise, whether it's something else. Like I said, I also do a large portfolio of about $250,000 worth of stock. So if you're interested in seeing that, feel free to check out some of my other videos. If not, I will talk to you guys soon. And I mentioned this in the other video, so if you didn't happen to see that one that I posted on Sunday, I have a large announcement to make in the middle of this year, and I probably won't mention it for the next couple videos, but I want to give everyone a little teaser. I'm really excited about it. It's not completely in the books yet. I still have to apply for some things, but it's looking pretty solid, and every day I'm getting more and more excited about it. So really happy to share that with you guys when the time is right, if I can. So it's not any like merchandise or anything like that. It's more of a personal thing for me. Might be really cool for the channel, and that's all I really say about that. But it's not any merchandise. It's not something you'll have to purchase. It's more of a personal thing for me. So, all right, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon, and take care.